So we've got architect Russell Dandeniya. He's a well-known character amongst us today. And before I invite him to the podium, I would like to also mention that he will be accompanied by architect Sajeeva Madhushankar, and the presentation will be done by Ms. Isuri Gunawardena. And before I invite her to the podium, I'll give a brief introduction of architect Russell Dandeniya. He's an award-winning architect, and he established RDCA in September 2008, and subsequently found RDC Architects Limited, Private Limited, to broaden its activities. Since then, this small studio-based practice has become very popular in a short period, absorbing a unique core of competent young chartered architects and a range of externally connected specialist consultants. Over the last decade, it has grown steadily in experience and strength, bringing in a unique and inventive, high-quality, futuristic, and practical architecture for others to follow. Multiple award-winning projects, or the success story behind architect Russell Dandeniya, is a positive and sustainable customer relations which has resulted in a much stable, passionate evolution of the firm today. I would like to cordially invite Ms. Isuri Gunawardena over to the podium.
Good evening, everyone. We are RDCA Architects team. I'm Isuri Gunawardena. We are here to present you about the importance of form of architecture. To be unique in built environment and to make an identity, built-in form playing a major role in architecture. It is an essential aspect of architectural designing, as the form of a building can impact its functionality, aesthetical appearance, and all over impact on the built environment. Form is often impacted by various factors such as cultural, historical, social, and technological context. People are just think about only the plan or the planning when they are starting to build something. They don't have any idea what should be the ultimate product looks like. They might took some precedence and request from architect a similar output for them. But architects are never going to repeat the same thing, because form can represent the quality of the occupants or activity and the importance of the building. And also it can be differ with the construction methods and climate variations. As architects, it's our responsibility to develop a form by achieving the requirements of the occupants and all other aspects through plans and experiencing the spatial qualities as well. Though people are talking about the plans, the ultimate architectural product is a form. Therefore, in design approach, form is very important and interesting. I don't know whether we should start designing from a plan or from a form. As RDC architects, always we are coming up for a form as a solution. For us, form is more important than plans. But we know, of course, plan is very important, because functional efficiency, interrelationship between spaces, and all necessaries are arranged with planning. But more than that, what we are feeling, of course, it's form. The first impression of a building is coming up with a form. After that, we are entering into the building. Only from that point, we are experiencing the space. Space is something different from the plan. It's a three-dimensional factor which feels from our sixth sense of the body. Plan is just a 2D thing that we are used to develop the spatial progression and the requirement of the occupants. We can see how architects in the world, their approaches of different buildings and different forms. When we are creating a form, materiality is also an important aspect. Always new materials are used with the evolution of the architecture to create form. For example, BG National Stadium, Villa Savoy, Guggenheim Museum, Walt Disney Concert Hall. Main items of the creating a form is skeleton and the skin. For the first time in Bird Nest Olympic Theatre, they made a skeleton and the skin separately. From the technology, people are finding unique ways to create different forms. So now we are going to explain a very simple approach by our office. This is for a very unique and exclusive newly married couple. Husband was a cricketer and the wife was an air hostess. So the lady wanted curves and the husband requested for straight lines. We said no, first you have to come up with your requirements. They said, then they started with planning and they discussed about their special requirements, and top of that they again requested the curves. So curves in the plan and curves in the form, we stuck somewhere. What we did, we rotated spaces in the plan around the pivotal cylindrical form. So the cylindrical item we used for place the staircase and the living area. We have used some features with timber to emphasize the space and give weight to the space. It is a very dramatical journey. When we ride around light, shade and the waves, it's like a drama. One side we placed functional spaces and utility spaces. In the other side we placed their private and semi-private spaces. There were 2 blocks. So these 2 blocks linked up with the central staircase and the dome. The cylindrical space, dome and 2 cubes were the main elements we have used. In the dome there is a lining which we used as the concept of a leather ball which related to the cricketer. At the end, house became home. It's a lovely place for live and get more time to live in. So air hostess decided to be a housewife and the cricketer stopped traveling too much and he became an entrepreneur. It's a very good example how a real home can enhance one's lifestyle. Architecture is just not creating building, it's create lifestyle. So next time if you're planning to build the house, yes, you have to go with your basic sketch and your preferences, but don't go with 1001 images. Don't type in Google best house in the world and show it to your architect. They never ever repeat things. They are always creating something unique according to your aspiration. Therefore, you have to go with an open mind and you have to have a long chat with your architect. If that chat is not adequate, you have to have a coffee or dinner to express your idea with more details. Then only they can understand what you really need and what you prefer. Then only they can design a perfect design for you. Thank you. So the principal architect is here. If you have any question, you can ask from him.
Thank you, Isri Gunavardhana. And any questions from the principal architect? The forum is open to do the honors. Even the speakers can ask questions from the speakers. No? Okay.